Hey guys, what's up? I hope your preparation is going very well. And if you are feeling some jitteriness, if you are a little bit nervous, then don't worry, things are going to turn up well at the end. So today we are going to discuss VARC, verbal ability and reading comprehension. And in this VARC, we are going to focus completely on RC passages. So, verbal ability is one of the most difficult sections in CAT, and because there is no specific strategy to prepare for it, it is usually undermined by many of the CAT applicants. But few guys realize that it is absolutely crucial to perform well in this section to get not only the call but complete conversion in IAM. So in my introductory video as well, I have talked about RC passages, and I have mentioned that RC passages comprises of around 70% of all the marks allocated to VARC. So we can understand that RC passages are the key for getting good marks in VARC. And because we have so less time left at our disposal, which means that if we can do well in RC passages and prepare well in the next 15 to 16 days, then we can perform very well in the complete VARC section. But before moving forward, I want to remind once again that mock tests are exceptionally important for doing well in this exam, and its importance even increases more so with respect to VARC, because you may be surprised that the complete preparation of VARC can be done just by giving mock tests. So you should keep on doing and giving the exam. Sometimes it may happen that you might get very less percentile or very less marks in some of the mock exams, but that should not divert you from your efforts. So I expect that you have given at least two mock tests till now. And if you have not, first of all, close this window, go back, give a mock test, come back and then watch the strategy for VARC's reading comprehensions. This is a small statistic that I have provided you to showcase the weightage of RC reading comprehension in the whole VARC section. So last year in 2020 there were total 26 questions in VARC, out of which total of 18 came just in RC, so it comprises of 70%. And interestingly, all the questions were MCQ in type. I prefer MCQ questions more than the TETA ones or non-MCQ ones, because there remains a certainty that you can be certain that the answer lies among one of the four options given. So you can see if by mastering the strategy or mastering the ability to fetch out answers in RC can help you to get complete performance in VARC section. So the themes of the passages that we get can be divided into three types. It can be analytical, it can be descriptive, or it can be data driven. So another statistic has been provided in which I have showcased the different themes that were given in CAT 2020 among all the three slots. So you can see there was a theme on anarchism, migration of northern seals, currency of Tang dynasty, grammar vocabulary, investing in renewable energy technologies, piracy in international trade, Freudian models of aggression, a study of visualization, travel writing and feminism during colonial times, the need for economic literacy in the general population, screen time and undercurrents of social class, and an analysis of human nature. So you can see some of the topics are socialistic in nature, some of the topics are psychological in nature, some of the topics are economic in nature. So there is a kind of fair distribution and very good representation of different topics in all the three slots in terms of RC passages. So a person who has a good reading habit and he reads across different topics uh, generally fares well in such kind of topics because he had got some understanding. So he or she does not take much time in extracting information out of these already read topics. So, so this showcases the ability of CAT examination makers that they want someone in their colleges or they want someone who has got this ability to read across different topics. So, coming to the types of questions asked on reading comprehension topics, one can expect a variety of questions in CAT. Each passage carries around 4 to 5 questions, which can be of one of the following types I have mentioned in three different colors: green, orange, and red. So the questions can based on the central theme. So they might ask you to identify the central theme of the passage. The questions can be based on the vocabulary. They might give some words from the passage and can ask you to identify the synonym or antonyms of the word given. So you can crack it only if you have a strong vocabulary base. So moving forward, there can be some inference based questions. And to clarify, these are the toughest type of RC questions as the correct answer is completely dependent on one's understanding of the argument presented in the passage. So to solve inference based questions, you need to read the passage very carefully and understand the central theme. Break down the sentences while reading the passage to understand the fundamental theme and, if needed, make notes. So personally, I did not prefer to make notes, but there were other candidates or some of my friends who performed very well in VARC and they used note making as one of the tools. So if you are comfortable in note making while reading the passages, then you must do it. So there are some facts based questions in which they might give you they might ask some of the facts that were presented in the passage, and these questions are very easy to solve. You just need to identify the right place in which the information is being stored. But and in fact, the the theme or the questions I have mentioned in green are the ones that are easiest to solve. So if a question is coming on the central theme, a question is coming pertaining to the facts, or a question coming on the structure of the passage, these are the kind of questions that you should never leave because they are the lowest hanging fruits. Now some of the questions can be asked on the title. The examiner might ask you to give a suitable title to the RC passage. Examiner might ask you to identify the tone that is presented in the passage. So the questions the I have mentioned in orange are trickier ones, but if you can read passage relatively carefully and you have a strong vocabulary base, then they can fall in the green category. But if you do not have a very good vocabulary base, and you do not have this habit of reading passages, and you have not done it all your life, so these questions even might fall in the red category. So it depends upon your current skill, but you should read as many passages and give as many mock tests as possible, so that these three types of questions can be inclined or forced toward this green zone. I have specifically mentioned some of the important points that you must keep in mind while attempting RC passages. So first thing is that do not focus too much at one place. There is certain line in the passage that you are not able to understand. Maybe there is a certain paragraph of a passage that you might not be able to understand. So you should not give too much attention or too much cranial capacity to that line or to that paragraph, because the question may not come from that line, or the question may not come from that paragraph, and you might be wasting time, which is extremely precious in VARC. So if you are stuck at some place, or you are not able to understand something, do not try to focus it too much and move on. Second is, after reading the first paragraph, you should first read the questions given in RCs. So it's not that you are reading everything verbatim. You are reading first paragraph, second paragraph, third paragraph. No, just read the first paragraph, get a small idea about the passage, and then go out and read the questions given. They will give you an idea on what kind of information you should focus on while reading the rest of the passage. Third is leave difficult vocab words. If there is certain words that are coming in between the passage which you are not able to understand, you do not need to know every meaning of every word. You just need to understand the context in which the word is being used. If you are able to do so, then this is not going to affect you much. Next is pick easy RC's themes first. This is very important because a good starts help you to get the pace. So if you are interested in science, so try to pick up a RC which is belonging to science. If you like literature, there might be an RC which is belonging to literature that you should try to do first. Or if you like history and there is a RC pertaining to history, so you should attempt that RC first. So for example, I used to like science. So if there was any RC pertaining to science, I used to do it first because it used to give me a feel good factor. And if I have attempted the first RC confidently, then it naturally helps me to go out to the rest of ones with the same confidence. So this is very important, and this is something that you must try in your mock tests as well. Next is first and last paragraph are the most important ones in the whole RCs, because a lot of questions can be done or a lot of information can be attained, such as the theme of the passage or the tone of the passage, just from first and last paragraphs. So these are the two paragraphs you should put most attention to. So I have given you a RC passage that you must try to do right now. Just pause the video, and there are questions pertaining to this RC passage. Just read this RC passage and attempt those questions. And if you are not able to read this RC passage, I have given the same passage in terms of PDF in the description section. So if you are not able to read the RC passage from here, just go down in the description box and download the PDF. Attempt this question by yourself. Attempt this question by yourself. Attempt this question by yourself. Attempt the questions. Attempt the questions. And if you are not able to solve any one of them, don't worry. Do not try to forcefully do it. Just wait and observe how I am going to attempt them. It will help you to develop a strategy. So if you have attempted all these questions, now let's see how to go about such RC passages. So first of all, while attempting this RC passage, you should have read the first passage, and then you should have gone to the questions, read these questions, and then you should have read all the rest of the passages. So let's try to attempt the first question. So the first question asks, which of the following best expresses the similarity between American individualistic anarchists and free market liberals, as well as the difference between the former and the later? So as I have already said that a lot of information is being there in the first passage and the last passage. So interestingly, the information regarding this question, the first question, is there in the last passage. So if you read from here, the protecting our own autonomy, protecting our own autonomy and associating with others for common advantages. The last line of the passage states that these thinkers differed from free market liberals in their absolute mistrust of American capitalism and their emphasis on mutualism. In other words, while both individualistic anarchists and free market thinkers agreed on the importance of individual autonomy, individualistic anarchists distrust capitalism and put emphasis on mutualism, while free market thinkers did not. And if we see, so the answer of this question is going to be both prioritizes individual autonomy, but the former also emphasize mutual dependence while the later do not so. And in fact, if we read all the other options A and C and D, we will realize that all these options mention ideas like state interventions in market, morally upright capitalism, and altruism, which are not even discussed in this passage. So in this way, we could have easily done this question. So this question comes to be from moderate to easy side in the passage. So moving towards the second question, which is the author makes all of the following arguments in the passage except. So this is a factual question. It is asking that which of the facts are not present in the passage at all. So if we read across the passage, we will identify that there is no mention of mainstream mistrust of collectivism. If we see the last passage, the passage states that there are surprisingly several traditions of individual anarchism in the first line. So from this we can infer that the first option is true. The first option is present in the passage. So option C is also true, because if we read this passage from here, if we read the passage from here for anarchists, the state itself is the enemy, and they have applied the same interpretation to the outcome of every revolution of 19th and 20th century. This is not merely because every state keeps a watchful and sometimes punitive eye on its dissidents. So we can say from this paragraph that violence and terror is being applied by the centralized state power. So we can say that option C is also present and is true. So regarding option D, they have talked about French Revolution, and we can see from the passage that French Revolution has been mentioned in the second paragraph. So we can read that French Revolution has ended not only with the reign of terror and emergence of a newly rich ruling class, and workers and peasants grasping the chance that arose to bring an end to centuries of exploitation and tyranny, were inevitably betrayed by the new class of politicians. So we can say that the failure of French Revolution was because the betrayal by the new class of politicians who emerged from it, which is correct. So we can say that options A, options C and option D are present in the passage, but option B, which talks about mistrust of collectivism, is not present at all. So the answer of this question will be Bombay, B. So moving towards the third question, which is according to the passage, what is the one idea that is common to all forms of anarchism? So this is we can say this is a question which belongs to the factual category but has an element of inference to it. So we can say this is a slightly difficult but doable question, and if such question comes to in the exam, then you should definitely attempt it. So they are asking for one idea that is common. So when I read all these four options, I can say that option A seems very fishy because it is saying there is no idea in anarchism, which I don't think may be true, but I'm not sure. And option C, they all derive from the work of Pierre Joseph Proudhon. Again, that might not be true because they are collecting or collating all the information with one person. But option B and option D are more generalized. So if in such kind of inferential questions, we generally find that the answer is more generic in nature than being specific. But let's see if any hint regarding B and D is present in the passage or not. So if we read the passage from here, option passage paragraph number 4, we can say that for anarchists, the state itself is the enemy, and they have applied the same interpretation to the outcome of every revolution of 19th and 20th century. So we can say that this line talks about option D, that anarchists were against state, which means they wanted decentralization of power in the state. And regarding option B, if we read because we can say that option B is incorrect because it talks of primacy of the individual, while anarchism put emphasis on mutualism. So if we read the last line, these thinkers differed from free market liberals in their absolute mistrust of American capitalism and their emphasis on mutualism. So they are putting emphasis on mutualism, which means that they are going away from individualism. So option B is correct. So from this passage, from reading this passage and identifying the information, we can say that option D is correct in this question. Now moving towards question number 4. The author believes that the new ruling class of politicians betrayed the principles of French Revolution, but does not specify in what way. In the context of the passage, which statement below is the likeliest explanation of that betrayal? So this question talks about French Revolution. So we know that French Revolution is being mentioned in passage number in paragraph number 2. So if we read this line, after every revolutionary uprising, usually won at a heavy cost of ordinary populations, the new rulers had no hesitation in applying violence and terror, a secret police and a professional army to maintain their control. So from this uh, two lines of third paragraph, we can say that the new ruling class rose to power on the strength of workers' revolutionary anger, but they turned to oppress that very class. So this is a question of inference. And as I have already told you that inference based questions are the most difficult ones to solve. And it is the most difficult question in this passage. So sometimes faculty suggests that it is good if you do not attempt all the questions of the passage and leave that one inference based questions, because the likelihood of getting it correct is less as compared to the other ones. So this is something that I would suggest you as well, that if you are relatively confident that you have got the right information, only then you should move forward while solving this inference based question. And if you are not that much confident, then you should leave it altogether. So if you have got to the option A as the answer, then it's a really commendable job. So we have got to this last question: of which of the following sets of concepts identify the set that is conceptually closest to the concerns of the passage? And it is again one of the simplest questions. It's a very simple question, because if we know that the topic is based on anarchism, and only two options contain the word anarchism, so we can be absolutely sure that the answer is neither B nor C. So we are left with two: anarchism betrayal power state, anarchism state individual freedom. So the option A does not mention the words freedom and individual, which are not only mentioned in the passage but are mentioned through previous questions as well. So we know they had talked about how how state is arising to power, or how the punitive eye of the descendants are being curbed by the state, which is an act of curbing the freedom or the individualism of the person. So we can say very easily that D is the answer of this option. So by identifying various strategies of solving this RC passage, we recognize few facts. First, we should always read the first passage and then go to the questions. By understanding the questions, we should decide our journey across different paragraphs of the rest of the passage. Secondly, we need to identify that which of the questions are easier to solve and which are inference based questions. And we must attempt inference based questions only if we are relatively confident among them. And lastly, we should start with those RC passages which corresponds to the themes that we are most comfortable with. And you should give as many mock tests as possible and practice reading and solving RC passages from that only. And if you continue to do so, you will see that your performance in VARC will improve linearly, which is a very good sign. So keep practicing and keep improving.